catless downpipe, and charge air pipe. BMW 335 N55. Did I mention a badass intercooler as well? Quick disclaimer, if you install this on your car, the catless downpipe, it makes your vehicle not street legal, and it's only for the track. Just so you know, it is up to you to follow the rules and guidelines as outlined in your area. Downpipe from FabSpeed Motorsport. Charge pipe installation kit from ER Evolution Raceworks. Intercooler from CSF. You will need to lift the car. You have to take the panels off underneath. It's going to be a bunch of 8s. We're going to hit that first. Take off the cover for the transmission shield. Just twist right here and it drops down. Take off the 8 stiffening plate bolts. So here's the cat right up here. We're gonna have to take this clamp off here, very rusted. Plan on replacing it. You can see that these are rusted right here. We're actually gonna take it off right at the transmission, and we'll tackle these when we have the cat out. Then there's another clamp right up here. That's a 13 millimeter, and then we'll be able to separate the cat from the turbocharger. Take this exhaust hanger and loosen this up right here. This is E10. 16 millimeter to take off the main clamp. And yep, she gave up the ghost. Expected that to fail just because it's so corroded. So if this happens because it's corroded, take a screwdriver or a small pry bar and you have to work out the clamp that's corroded. Expect to replace this clamp. And fish it out. If you're reusing your cat, this part of the clamp usually stays on. Here's the clamp right here, the new one. You can see this inner ring. This is a gasket. It's actually stuck to the cat. So you can get these off, but you have to pry them off like so if you're going to reinstall your cat. Don't leave that on or else you're just gonna ruin your new clamp. So the exhaust is stopped right here and it's just floating, and it gives you enough room that you don't have to drop the whole thing down. We're gonna take off these E14s right here. There they are right there. These are pretty long, so it's gonna take you a bit, and these are transmission bolts. So you're gonna need to go up through the axle here, and that's gonna give you access to the clamp for the catalytic converter. There's the socket right there. Now, if you have a rear wheel drive car and you don't have to deal with the axle, you can get it from the bottom. You may still be able to, but it's a little tight, so we're gonna drop the car and hit it from the top. All right, we're at the top, and you can see I have all this disconnected. I have a video where I'm removing the valve cover to do a valve cover gasket replacement, and the first part will show you how to take all this apart to access this corner to get to the cat. So your best bet is to go down here along the side. So that was a 13 millimeter. You have to get just the right size socket and extension to access it. And once you get it free, and it could take a little bit of effort, this is the only location on the all-wheel drive where you really have room to get a swing. So working from the top here, we got the bolt out for that clamp. Now we're gonna go to the bottom to spread it open to get it off. So the clamp right here, the bolt is now out, and now we have to separate it to get that out. There she is, she popped. There it is. So push one side out. Oh, she's coming out fast. It's all good. Harnessed. So once that clamp is out, we do have the O2 sensor harnessed, ready to come out from me doing the valve cover. You just have to feed the harness down. Here's our O2 sensor harnesses, and there's your cat. So save this, don't get rid of your cat, because if you need to go through emissions or you need to make your car street legal once again, you're going to need to reinstall this. Also a good idea to take a look at the honeycomb to make sure that there's no breakage on the honeycomb. There's a little something there. Yeah, see right there? So there's a tiny little breakdown in this honeycomb right there. Still looks okay. It's nothing crazy. The monolith looks great on this side, so still a good cat. So just taking a peek up in here, here's your turbocharger, here's your wastegate, and this is what is called pivot play. So when you're getting this kind of pivot play right here, your turbocharger is kind of on the way out, and sometimes it might not seal if it actually cocks to the side, and that is not replaceable, separate. You have to get that free with the turbo. And up in here there is a gasket. Here she comes. There we go. Place that gasket. This is probably going to take 2 people to break the O2 sensors free. Your pre has this metal heat shield and your post has just this black piece on it. Alright, so let's do the same thing. And this lip is the front. This goes to the turbo. So this would be your pre in front and your post that goes down by this bracket. Alright, so we have to get these off and hopefully keep the stud, or you have to replace your cat or drill it out. So the best thing to do is to let it soak and then heat the shit out of it off. You can see right here, there's that. And we actually saved it. Look at that. If we did not heat this, it would have definitely snapped. Alright, that's the bracket that we removed from the cat. We're going to put this back into place at the transmission, and can't put it in the wrong way. Put your gasket in. Just presses into that recess. Take your clamp, spread it out slightly, just rest it just like that. So get yourself a nut and a bolt. If you have a lock washer, it would help too. I don't have one on hand, so we're just going to go ahead and use the nut and bolt that I have and place that so that the downpipe stays in place. So now you have to, and it's going to be hard to see, you have to line up the clamp, and you'll feel that it goes over the lip, and then it will lock down like a clamshell once you have it in the right spot, and then you can start your screw to hold the clamp in place and then rotate it to where you have better access to tighten it down. So that's what it's going to look like. You can see if you take a pry bar and push up gently on the bottom, you can get it to lock into place. That lip has to sit on both sides. So we have this side, and you can feel it with your hand that it's caught on the back side. Hold it with the pry bar, so it's like an extra helping hand, and then you're going to catch the bolt into the clamp. You can see that we're seated correctly on the downpipe. So don't tighten it down all the way yet. You want to be able to make sure that there's a little bit of movement so we can line up the rest of the exhaust. All right, let's take a quick look at the clamp for the back part of the exhaust. You can see these pieces right here, and they have to be able to catch on the lip. There's multiple ones of them. If you don't catch these correctly on the lip, you will end up with an exhaust leak. Also, when you're installing this, if you installed it like this, you're going to catch under the car, or you're not going to be able to put the panels on. This gets installed to the side just like this. Seat the gasket onto the downpipe. You know you're locked in when it's perfectly flush all around this perimeter. You can run your finger along it and you can feel that it's fully seated. So we're going to come back to the exhaust hanger, and we're going to just loosely put those bolts back in to give us a little bit of support when we hook up to that front clamp. So the clamp is tightened up a bit. There's a little bit of play. and that helps you to line up correctly to the downpipe with the exhaust. Hold it up flush, and with a 16, not an impact, you're going to draw it closed. Just to double check, you can see that it pushed out these prongs. That's correctly seated. And you can see on this side too how we've caught the lip correctly. So we should not have an exhaust leak now. Don't forget to tighten up the exhaust hanger. All right, remember we left this clamp loose. That's right at the turbo. So we have to get up in here, 13 millimeter, and tighten this clamp up. When you're tightening this clamp, you just want to go until they close. Just like that, and stop. So there's that clamp fully installed. The next step, don't forget, is to tighten the O2 sensors down using a ratchet wrench to snug down our holder. All right, here's our first little small foo bar, right? So we have our stud here. Here's our O2 sensor hole, and we can't put our O2 sensor in because the stud's sticking out on this side. Simple fix. Flip that around the other way. All right, that's better. Now we can go ahead and put the O2 sensor in. Remember to twist the wire as you go and gently snug the O2 sensor down. These O2 sensor sockets are nice because you can flip them over the top, drop them down onto the O2, and it gives you multiple different angles to get on it to snug it. These low profile ones are nice. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description box for this O2 sensor socket. You see, to move it, you actually have to lift it up and turn it. Obviously, you can't just keep wrenching it. You have to lift up and reposition it on the O2 sensor, and then you can ratchet it again. So don't think it's tight if you reach the end. It just means you got to lift it up, reposition it, and then go ahead and ratchet it down. All right, the cat is removed. The vehicle is no longer street legal. It is only for the track. And make sure to stay tuned for how the vehicle is gonna sound. I'm sure it's gonna sound pretty badass. And we're gonna now move on to some of these other steps, which are the intercooler and that charge air pipe. All right, let's hear it. One more time, let's hear it.